Welcome back, everybody. Here we are yet another time with Larry Mize, the 87 Masters champ. But while we were off camera, I was just exploring a little bit about the early days, high school and college. And so I'm wondering, would you talk to us a little bit? What kind of player were you in high school? You played at Georgia Tech. You were there for, I think, 3 years. Mm-hmm. Was there anything outstanding? How do you go from where you were to ended up being where you ended up?
That's a real good question. A high school player, I was a nice player, but I wasn't recruited by many schools. Georgia Tech, they were the only ones that offered me a scholarship. So I liked Georgia Tech, but that's why I went to Georgia Tech, because they offered me half scholarship, books and tuition. So I stayed at home in Augusta with my parents and went to college, which, that's why I told my boys, I said, it's best to go, you need to go off to college. And so, and I went to college and I was a nice player. But I was no All-American, didn't win any tournaments. But my game kept getting better.
What was your nickname at Tech?
Well, some of the guys would call me the Amazing Mize. I guess Mize. So I'd hit 8 greens and shoot a couple under par. Because, you do what you got to do. And I did have a good short game. My dad kind of ingrained that into me. We'd chip in the front yard to get our short game better, and because once he started playing, and he became a good golfer, one handicap, but. That was what it was, and I just tried to get better. But then, after Tech, I went to tour school and found out I wasn't near as good as I thought I was. And so then I went to Fort Benning, well now it's Fort Moore, and got a job picking up the range so I could beat balls and get better, which I did. And sure enough, in the spring of '81, I almost got my card. I got to the finals and missed. I kind of lost my temper and learned some things there. And in the fall of '81, I went there, and I just read the Norman Vincent Peale's book, You Can If You Think You Can. So that was a positive influence on me to help me get there. And,
so you had some setbacks early on. In college, you didn't maybe rise to the level that you hoped for. You get out, you try to make it on the tour, don't make it, try again, don't make it. Big balls on a range. You're picking a range.
I'm a range picker, you bet.
And so where do you find the kind of resolve? Are you just wired that way? Or
I think there's stubbornness in the Mize family, I guess. I don't know, but I was stubborn, and it was my childhood dream. I mean, growing up in Augusta with the Masters, watching those guys, I never wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, or anything like that. I wanted to be a pro golfer. But going to my third try in the fall of '81, I said, all right, this is probably it. I mean, if you don't make it now, I guess you better go back and finish college and get going. But thankfully, I did sneak through and got my card and, got on tour and, was very green getting on tour, but learned a lot. Gary Player was very nice to me, helped me say, Larry, why are you going to do all that work and get mad and throw it all away? You might as well not do the work. If you're going to lose your temper and throw it all away, which, Gary Player's telling you that, you're going to listen. Butch Baird, some people may not remember Butch Baird, but Butch was very nice to me. And Chichi Rodriguez was very nice to me. Just helped me, encouraged me, saying, hey, you're a good player, just keep working at it. And, as the year went on, I got better and better because, when Bonnie and I got married in August, I think I'd only made like $6,000. And but then I ended up making just over $28,000, which is a little different to keep my card, a little different money-wise. But the end of the year, I played really well. I had my last 2 tournaments, I finished tied for 9th, I think, and tied for 13th, which were 2 really good finishes for me, and I was able to keep my card. So just stubbornness, determination, and learn from your mistakes. I mean, we're all going to make mistakes in golf, in our life, in our Christian walk, and we just want to learn from the mistakes and get better.
Yeah, you said something to me earlier about we were talking about the importance of doing our very best to live as ambassadors for Christ and be a witness for Christ. And sometimes we are really good at it. Sometimes we kind of stink it up. And what is it you told me that when you have this conversation, you don't want people always just focusing on you. You want them to look at the
object of my faith. Yeah. The thing is, as a Christian, sometimes I'll be okay. Sometimes I'll be bad. I'll mess up. I may let you down. But Jesus Christ will never let you down. He's the same yesterday, today, as he will be tomorrow. And so I want to point people to him and know that I'm working hard. He's got more work to do in my life, but that's who will never let you down. So I want to push people to Christ, because Christians, sometimes we're good witnesses for Christ, sometimes we're not. But Jesus Christ is always good, and he'll always be there for us.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's probably a good place to end this little section. So, hey, God bless everybody. I hope you're enjoying your time with our very special time with Larry Mize, and I hope you're enjoying the devotional series we're doing here. So God bless, and we'll see you next Friday.